Thanks for dropping by. Hey, I got this knife today. Supersonic. Interesting. It's a new design from Bestech. It's not a flipper, but it is a titanium frame lock knife. It's got these big old discs here. You can finger flick, you can thumb flick, I'm sure, to open. So this one's bronze, like a kind of a deep bronze ano. Kind of like the look of that. And then it's got gold surrounds on the pivot, and also these thumb discs. So that's interesting. This one has a stonewash kind of black wash blade. Lanyard hole, big kind of triangle shape there. Titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip. Interesting. It's got some machining out here, so it's kind of a multi-level thing. If you look how this area definitely taller, this area lower on both sides. I like the machine work there, and they've done it on both sides, which is nice, keeps it symmetrical. The Supersonic. I think I saw this in January at the 2019 SHOT Show when Solina brought some knives that were not yet named. And if you look back, you might see that on the table when I did a little video at the SHOT Show. But now at least it has a name. And this is a little bit different color than the one from the SHOT Show. But they'll be available in different colors. And I'm sure without the black wash on the blades, with and without. Nice, interesting design. Seems like a sensible blade shape, piercing, slicing. Got a nice big choil there. You can go forward. And maybe this one is reasonably sharp. It's not like scary sharp, but it's getting through the paper. Yeah, I don't know how big it is, but I'm going to check it out now. It's pretty good size knife, though. It's not small. Okay, 3.65, 3.75 to the back of the choil. Anywhere you could say between like 90 and 95 millimeter blade, depending on whether you want to measure, an 8 1/4 overall, 21 centimeters. Let's see what we got for stock here. 3.75 millimeter blade stock at 0.148 overall. And let's try and get it on top of one of these milled areas. A 1/2 inch. 12.9 millimeters. Oh, how much does it weigh? Let's check it out. Nice drop to it. Centered, no lock rock, no blade play. 116 grams, roll it around to ounces. Just a little over 4 ounces, 4.1 ounces. So not bad there. Easy to flick open. Let me try this. Okay, yeah. I could throw it out. I'd say maybe a 4.8 on my detent scale. So it's not real stiff detent. But then again, if this is the way you're going to have to open this knife, either with your thumb or your middle finger, I don't think you want it real stiff there. You got jimping on top of the blade. Okay, you can feel it. The ergos, look at this handle shape. I mean, it pretty much lends itself to adaptability for your hand on there. Yeah, I mean, the overall design of this knife, I think is interesting. I like it. I think it was one of the ones that I like best that they brought to SHOT Show, actually. But there was no name for it at the time. And they did a good job machining this pivot, and then on the backside it's accessible to a number 8 Torx, and I think these are number 6s through here. We'll just take it apart, take a look at it. Ceramic detent ball, ceramic bearings, hardened steel insert with over travel stop. Yeah, and you can see it through here, kind of. Pretty easy to disengage. You've got a differential of height here, so yes, you can do that. And be a little careful when you, when you do that, because you don't have a flipper tab to hit your thumb when this thing drops. Depending on where you're going to have your thumb, you don't want the blade to fly back and hit you. So, I keep it at an angle where I know it's not going to come back and get me. But yeah, it gets over the detent ball real quick, so it does have a lot of fidget factor to it. And it's really nice drop, smooth. And I haven't done anything to this. So this is an advanced copy. Don't have a specific pouch for it. I just threw this out here just as a backdrop for the heck of it. But I'm sure it'll come in a zipper pouch and then a box outside of that with a microfiber cloth, all that. So yeah, doesn't feel all that heavy. Balance seems pretty good. Like I said, back spacer kind of gives it that finished look. And of course your lanyard hole is big and it's tubed through that back spacer. Then could this be kind of a striking point? It could be if you needed to, like that. For whatever occasion, whether that would work as a glass breaker or just to hammer something as needed, yes. And the design seems to flow. This flows back in here into the bolster, the blade drops, and you've got this backspacer that doesn't go real far down here, but it wraps around a lot. So you couldn't really bring the blade out here, and you probably couldn't anyhow because of that lanyard area. And they wanted to make sure that backspacer was going to completely envelop that lanyard cutaway. So there you are. That's what you're left with. And so I think they used everything they could of what they had available here for the blade length. And really 8 1/4 overall with a 3.6 to 3.7 inch blade. Yeah. There's your lockup. That's 30% if it's anything. And it feels solid and it looks flush with the back of the blade. Easy to open and shut. So yeah, I do like the overall design. I don't see a whole lot of fault with this knife as far as I'm concerned. Well, let's take a look at what it is like inside. Take the pivot screw out. There's your little pivot surround there, which you could knock out if you wanted to. And I'm going to guess these are number 6s, and yes, they are. We're done with that one. Comes apart real easy. No issues there with the hardware. Okay. And pop it apart. And there we go. And yes, it's weight relieved inside, front and back. Oh, that's why it's as light as it is. under 5 ounces. And there's your ceramic bearings. There's your detent hole and track and your blade stop. Got the bearings whether I wanted them or not. And yes, they did square off this pivot. So I imagine that matches up on this other side. Yeah, I think it does. Hold on, let me pull this out. There we go. Yeah, there's a squared off area on the lock bar side for that pivot. So now we got ourselves a knife all took apart. There's the back spacer. I mean, you can always pull that off if you want. I'm going to leave it there. Might as well. And I'm going to put the pivot to the presentation side, and I just knocked my washer out. There you go. Nothing like that. Put a little bit of lube here, and put my bearings on. Put the blade in, and you know what? Put a little bit of lube there. Come on, just give me a little, there you go. Out to there, and then I've got to put my blade stop back in where it belongs. On top of there, got to throw some bearings down. Turn them as we go, and then back in here, got to put my washer in. Maybe just a little lube in there. And I think we can just throw this puppy back together just like that. If we've got everything lined up, which hopefully we do. And there we go. Just kind of had to position that pin right there on that flat area so we could get it just right. And it does take some adjusting sometimes. And I'm really fumbling with this, aren't I? Come on, let's get you locked down, buddy. Okay. There we go. Got a couple of screws here. They look the same length, so I don't think it matters. And we're going in. Yes, we are. Locking it down. Let's try this. Are we good? We're good. Is that right? Is that right? And we're not centered. So let's see what we got here. No, we got a little bit of play left. Okay. Where do we need to be to make you happy? Well, we're centered now. Okay. That works. Well, we got the Supersonic back together. The action's great. Nice. So they lightened it up on the inside. It's not terribly heavy. It's not super light, but it's a full titanium frame lock knife. Nice fit and finish. The design flows. So this will be just one of those knives that when it comes out on the market, do you like the design? Is this something you're into? And it gets you away from the flipper syndrome, although it is a titanium frame lock. So Just depends on how you feel about that. But wow, it's pretty slick. Pocket clip looks good. I haven't tried that in my pocket, but from the look of it, it looks like the other pocket clips that I haven't had any issues with. And of course, right hand tip up only carry. Cool. All right, I'm going to cut you loose. Thank you so much for hanging out. You know what we do around here. We love them knives. You guys, stay sharp.